Good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. We're also brought to you by D&M Roofing, outstanding residential and commercial roofing contractor. Hey, this is the only show in the entire metro area that talks about business expansion, real estate, and construction. We try to make it a little bit on the fun side as well. And without any further ado, I must introduce my co-host, who's not the usual co-host. You see, Trenton Magid every once in a while takes a weekend off, but in his stead, we have our colleague, commercial real estate broker from NAI NP Dodge, Brian Hartman. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Jeff. Happy to be here.
Thank you. It's been a while since you've been the guest co-host.
I think so. I think it's been 6 months or so.
Something like
I'm
that.
I'm good for 1 or 2 outings a year.
Yeah, you're a twice-a-year kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's what, but you do a fine job, and you're an outstanding broker. I tell you, you guys, you brokers have been busy this year. The real estate market is pretty healthy.
It's healthy, and we were busy last year. The COVID year, we were all really busy, and it's not slowed down this year. And now people are starting to make some business decisions that they had deferred last year, and so we're real pleased with the activity.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be in business, certainly in the commercial real estate industry, and hopefully the same is true for your business as well. Hey, we want to remind you, this is the weekend, and one of the things that people really love to do over the weekend is go shopping. And in this area, the place to go shopping is Nebraska Crossing. We have had a great relationship here on the Grow Omaha show with Nebraska Crossing ever since the place opened for business right there at Interstate 80 and Highway 31 in beautiful Gretna. And for the last few months, we've been telling you about the Fast Cash program. If you still haven't done it, you're losing money because it is just so incredibly easy. All you do, if you have the Nebraska Crossing app, open it and refresh it. If you don't have it, you can easily download it from wherever you get your apps. Okay, you sign up, and then you put a credit card into your Fast Cash. Anytime you shop at Nebraska Crossing, use that credit card, and then money, 15% cash back goes into your digital wallet, and you can use that at any of the Nebraska Crossing retailers. I've been a big user of it since the day it launched, and I've been able to buy untold amounts of free stuff. And so you can too by getting Fast Cash from Nebraska Crossing. All right, Brian, we have a good show today. We always have a good show, but today, excuse me, in a little bit, we're going to bring on Marty Cordero, head of the Omaha Storm Chasers, and Peter Marlette, head of Union Omaha, our two pro sports teams here in town. And then we're also going to be talking later in the show with Sam Noddle of Noddle Companies about some development stuff as well. But before all of that, it is time for our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. EagleMortgageCompany.com is how you can find them. They're also available in person at 114th and Davenport Street, just south of West Dodge Road. And Eagle Mortgage will help you, well, the flippant thing to say would be with your mortgage, but they can do FHA, VA, conventional loans, and they just do a really good job of it. I know most people like to go and meet with them, get that pre-approval letter, and that's really nice because in a competitive home purchasing environment, if you don't have a pre-approval letter from a company like Eagle Mortgage, good luck winning a house purchasing battle. So again, EagleMortgageCompany.com. All right, Brian. A few weeks ago on this show, we shared a rumor, and that rumor was that a developer was going to purchase the old Cocoa, I guess it's still there, Cocoa Key and Ramada Inn, the old Holiday Inn Central, 72nd and I-80, and tear it down and build a vertical development. Well, that was confirmed this week. The developer is MH Hospitality based in Nashville. Dan Merrick is the owner. He's been a guest on this show several times. Dan and MH Hospitality have many hotel properties, but this is going to be a lot more than the hotel property. They're talking, apartments, maybe some office, hotel, restaurants, some of which might have even drive-throughs, some of which might be part of bigger buildings. But Brian, I think this is a trend of increased density along major corridors in Omaha, and certainly 72nd Street is a dense corridor.
Yes, that's, we all had our eyes on that property, and we're waiting for something like this to happen. There's only so many I-80 interchanges. 72nd Street is very powerful, and it's a large site with great access. And so it's been recognized now, and it'll be really exciting to see what happens. And what happens will be very successful because the demographics, the accessibility, all the great things that would come with that I-80 interchange.
For a lot of people, the demise and soon to be the demolition of that building is a little bit nostalgic, because if you think back before the CHI Center opened, which was about 2003-ish, somewhere around there, that building, which was then called Holiday Inn Central, was the convention center. And kind of embarrassing to say that because it was a hotel, we didn't have a real convention center. So that was the default de facto convention center for our town. I mean, there were big shows and conferences that were crammed into that place. And I think most of us who just lived here or did business here in that town back in those days, you were at that property multiple times a year.
Yeah, we've all been there. We all got stories about it. And had great times, great events there, and so it'll those days are past, and those will be missed. But it'll be nice to see the rebirth of it now.
Well, and those events are now held at the CHI Center or the Hilton or Marriott downtown or that Embassy Suites in La Vista. So there are other places. Hey, another very large economic development news item came out just yesterday. A newly created Iowa company known as Cattlemen's Heritage plans to build a massive cattle beef processing packing plant. This is going to be right along Interstate 29. It's going to technically be in Mills County, which is home to Glenwood, but it's going to be right south of the Pottawatomie County line. So if you're familiar where Google has a massive data center there, Bunge has a soybean processing plant, it's going to be just a little bit south of that. But Brian, we're talking 750 jobs. This thing would process 1,500 cattle a day. This is a big-time economic development victory for the metro area and for Southwest Iowa.
Yes, it's a job generator. It's a manufacturing, a form of manufacturing. It's all the big wins that you want for economic development, income and jobs. And so, it's going to be a great addition. And of course, it'll take advantage of the available land and the accessibility in that area from a real estate standpoint. And it's a big win for economic development.
Yeah, I read the company's release and then articles about it in both the World Herald and the Des Moines Register, and I couldn't find anything about the actual physical size of the building. But the company had worked with Dr. Ernie Goss at Creighton University to come up with an annual economic impact of $1.1 billion. That's a big amount of money to inject into the metro area economy each year. Construction on this thing is supposed to start next spring, so spring of 2022, and then wrap up in late 2023. Average wage in the facility would be right about $55,000 a year, which compares very favorably with Iowa averages and metro area averages in the manufacturing sector. Big-time economic kickouts for the surrounding area. So love to see projects like this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see and to do a little research how it's going to interact with the existing meat packing plants and what opportunity that'll give to our beef producers and what that might do to commodity prices. And so it'll be nice to have some competition and see how that affects the whole vertical chain.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point because right in the city of Omaha and South Omaha, we have 2 or 3 kill floors, full-born processing plants. You wonder if they care about something like this, if it makes them nervous, if it doesn't really impact them. If we were in that business, in that industry, we would know. We'd
know more about the impact of it. But just as an economic development show, those are some questions that come to mind that'll be interesting to see how they play out and how it affects that particular economy.
Well, I've got a nice building project that broke ground this week on the east side of Eppley International Airport. That's over where the general aviation facilities are located. But Omaha-based JetLinks is going to construct a brand new 70,000 square foot terminal and hangar for their private aviation clients. Like I said, JetLinks is headquartered here in Omaha, but they have about 20 locations at airports around the country. I mean, just looking at the list, Atlanta, Austin, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, a lot of the big markets. And so this is great. When you'll definitely notice this thing. I'm looking at a rendering of it right here. If you're at the passenger terminal on the west side, you'll definitely notice it. It'll look like a nice building. And I just see this as another sign of the strength of travel coming into and out of Omaha. That private corporate type travel is critically important, even though most of us tend to think of air travel as, Southwest or United or something like this. But I think this is good for Omaha.
So when you use your share, will you be going out of that terminal?
No.
For the Beals Corporation or
no? We have our own plane.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. You don't do fractional.
I don't want to touch anyone else's. I don't want to touch anywhere somewhere else is sat.
I see. I see. That's the next level up.
Yeah, that's the next level up.
That's the next level up.
Yeah, if you keep working hard, Brian, you might get there.
Well, I am actually. JetLinks is fascinating to me, and especially with the different restrictions with airports and with the COVID. I mean, I actually, as a poor broker, actually do Google it from time to time and look at the membership rates because I just think that's going to become more and more popular, and more people are going to look into it and aspire to do that sort of travel. It
is very appealing, and I think sometimes when business people or entrepreneurs are thinking, well, I can't quite afford that, might be a good enough reason to work a little harder.
Work a little harder.
So
Absolutely.
You don't have to be crammed in the sardine can with everyone else on Delta and Southwest and the rest of them.
Or just to get to be good friends with the Beals.
There's always that. Well, and that is your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. When we come back, we're going to talk about sports. It's always fun to talk about sports. We're going to talk about pro baseball. We're going to talk about pro soccer. And we have the leaders of Union Omaha and the Omaha Storm Chasers coming to join us. So this is going to be fun stuff. Stay with us. You're listening to Jeff and Brian Hartman substituting for Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha, brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI NP Dodge. Back in a jiffy on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals here along with Brian Hartman from NAI NP Dodge, substituting for the legendary Trenton Magid. We are brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI NP Dodge. We're going to chat a little bit about some pro sports. We got a couple pro sports teams here in Omaha. The Omaha Storm Chasers, AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Everyone knows and loves them. They've been around for a long time. A lot of Storm Chasers fans. In fact, yesterday at the office, Brian Hartman was wearing a Storm Chasers shirt around the office. I think he was just getting fired up for today.
Stirred up.
Yeah. And then we have also Union Omaha, which is our relatively new pro soccer club. So with us is Marty Cordero. He's club president for the combined teams. And then we also have Peter Marlette, who is the GM of Union Omaha. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Hey, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Very good.
Are we close enough to the mic?
No, you're not.
We're not.
Yeah.
How about now? Is that better?
Way better. Yeah, way better. Yeah, I was just going to say, no, not even close. Not even close. But yeah, you're better now. Brian, you look like you're going to say something.
No, I was just taking a cue from Marty and getting close to my mic myself.
Okay, well, if any of you have ever thought about watching the video version of the show, you should definitely watch this one when it comes out in a few days, because Brian Hartman is wearing a Runza promotional hat umbrella that Marty gave him. Marty, is that I know Runza is one of your big sponsors. In fact, weren't the Storm Chasers the Omaha Runzas?
Yeah, that was from Runza Night a couple Saturdays ago, and the first 999 fans got a hat because Brian got the 1,000th one. So.
Oh, very good, very good.
When you're a bald man with a big head, not too many hats work.
That's right.
This one does.
And that hat will probably take care of you. That protect
It covers
you.
the whole dome. Yep.
Peter Marlette, GM of the new Union Omaha Soccer Club. So you've been around for a little while, but still very, very new. Talk to us about how the team's doing, how people are receiving it, and what someone might expect if they've never been to a pro soccer game.
Yeah, the team's first season was last year, which was obviously cut short and was a 16-game season as opposed to the standard 28 in USL League One. The team had an awesome opening season, finished the regular season in second place in the league, which earned them the right to play in the USL Championship game, which was canceled due to COVID. So ended up finishing second without the opportunity to go win that championship. So left a bad taste in the team's mouth, but we picked up where we left off this year. We're 9 games into this season and are currently sitting in first place in the league. So we retained most of our top players, our key players over the offseason, and then built on that. So if somebody comes out to Werner Park or watches us on ESPN Plus, they can expect to see really high quality soccer. And in our stadium in Werner Park, the atmosphere is great. The fans are banging on drums, singing, jumping up and down the whole time. It's a really lively atmosphere for 90 minutes of play, and you're going to get a different Werner Park experience than you get the Storm Chasers. And we're building our fan base and building up those bodies in the park, and everyone who comes out has a great time.
I never played soccer. I'm more of a baseball fan, so I kind of relate more to the Storm Chasers, all that. But I need to get out there and see it because I've heard it's an absolute blast. And there have been some modifications a little bit to the stadium, to make it possible to have both baseball games and soccer games in the same place. Marty, what are some of those modifications?
Yeah, we worked with Sarpy County back in late 18 through 19, and we were ready to go for 20. We have new soccer offices as far as the front office, locker room for our team and Jay Mims' squad, as well as new building and grounds area. But the most important piece, the modifications, is the pitcher's mound hides in the ground now. It's retractable. It takes 9 minutes and 34 seconds to go up or down. It's the same mound that the Texas Rangers have and a number of other teams that have a multi-use baseball facility. And then the right field corner is about 12 feet deeper, and that way we could actually have a true 90-degree angle right there for corner kicks, and the field could fit 110 by 70 yards dimension. Is the minimum for USL, and that's what fit. And, when we went through the process, we looked at north-south, we looked at east-west, we looked at southwest to north to northeast. We looked at all kind of setups, primarily what was going to give us the most viewable seats and the highest number of sellable viewable seats. And it ended up being east-west. And when it's set up, it's almost like it kind of fits. There are a couple of sections that you can tell it wasn't designed for soccer, but it really, some amazing views. We have field level seats as well, that have food and beverage service right there on the field, so you can see the players when they're sweating and when they're running. I mean, there are a lot of great opportunities to see soccer from different angles that you've never seen in watching here in town other soccer venues. So we're excited about this year. Coach Mims has a great squad, but we encourage people to come try us. Come try us. It's different. It's different. I'm a baseball guy becoming a soccer guy, and I definitely appreciate the product that's on the field, but even more so the product off the field from the community engagement standpoint. And our owner Gary Green had an op-ed this week. I believe it was Thursday in the World Herald, and it speaks to what we're trying to do with both sports, both Chasers and Union, but primarily with Union, from helping unify and really bring together different cultural groups here in the metro area.
Marty, you guys didn't have a Storm Chasers season last year. How are the crowds coming back? What are you noticing after a year off?
Well, most of them drive to the ballpark.
Well, not all.
That's how they. No,
you got a neighborhood right to the north.
No, yes. Slowly. I would say slowly. We had some MLB requirements. MLB required us to have masks on 2-year-olds and up for a while there, but that's gone away. They've let us work with Sarah Schramm at Sarpy Cast Health as well as our state officials, and we're in a better spot. So beginning on our next homestand July 6th, as well as The next soccer match after tonight on July 3rd, Warner Park will be 100% capacity, fixed seats, sold just like pre-COVID. So we're really, really excited about that. And, we're right in the middle attendance-wise, I believe, in the 20-team PCL. We've bounced between 8 to 12. But, there's some nights, we've got, 2,000 people in the ballpark, and there's some nights we've had 5,000. So it's getting back to what will ever be the new normal. And then on the soccer side, I believe we do continue to lead League One in attendance. And tonight, 7 o'clock, first kick, come out. We got a big game tonight as we work to stay in first place with Union Omaha.
Yeah, so my son is just starting to play baseball as a young, and so I wasn't much of a baseball guy myself growing up, but just watching him playing Little League has gotten me much more interested in your organization, the College World Series. And so I'm wondering, Peter, does the Omaha soccer, the select soccer scenario in Omaha, do you feel like that's going to help build attendance as people get to understand it more, and they're playing it as younger kids, and then they want to be able to take their kids out to see a professional team play?
Yeah, absolutely. Omaha and the metro area has a huge youth soccer scene. I believe it may be the most played youth sport. Marty can confirm there. In the metro, and there are just a ton of clubs, a ton of kids playing at the youth level. But that's kind of been the case for a while in the U.S. It's getting those people who play at the youth level to actually come out and see a professional game and really see how the elite level looks in person. That makes a big difference. So we found at Union Omaha so far, we don't have many one-time customers. People who come out to one game end up coming out to a bunch of them. They're a lot of fun. You're seeing a really high quality product on the field that if you're a parent who didn't play growing up, who's got a kid playing youth soccer, it's going to be eye opening. It's going to be cool to see how the professionals do it on the field. And it's, like I said, we have a great team and a very high level league, and the product on the field is really something to see.
Well, I encourage everyone to go out and be there for that first kick tonight at 7 o'clock. That'd be a lot of fun. So we just have a minute left. Marty, what do you want to leave us with as we look forward to the rest of the season of Union Omaha and Omaha Storm Chasers?
Well, we talked about two first-place teams. The Omaha Storm Chasers currently have the second-best record of all 120 teams, and we lead all of minor league baseball in home runs, and I think we have more home runs than like 20 major league clubs. So if you want to see exciting baseball, and this team mashes, they can hit. So it's an exciting team to watch. It's much like the teams in 2010 through 2011, all the way up to 15, which won 2 national titles and 4 division titles. So see that. Coach Mims has built a great product. Come see what soccer's about. Come support it. But above all, get out and support live events again. Come out to the community. The development to our south broke ground and is now building and will be over the next 3 or 4 years. So that area that we're in is going to continue to grow. And if you're looking for fireworks, July 3rd, Union Omaha fireworks after our 8 p.m. game. That's July 3rd at the ballpark. And then on the 8th and 10th, our FNBO Independence fireworks. So the big celebration, the 53rd straight year. We're not home on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th this year, but July 10th. July 10th is our big 15, 16-minute show. We want people to know that there's an opportunity to come out, support live events, support this community. And, yeah, it's going to be a great ending to the College World Series. I know Brian mentioned it again a few minutes ago. So a lot of great sports things happening. And I have to give a special shout-out, Omaha Sports Commission, Josh Todd, what they had to do to move mountains to get the swim trials underway and started. Josh, great job.
Yeah, amen to that. And I tell you, I always have a blast at Warner Park. So if you haven't done it or haven't done it very often, go out there. You'll have a hard time finding better entertainment than that. So Marty Cordero, the president of the clubs, and Peter Marlette, GM of Union Omaha. Guys, thanks for being here. Much success as we continue on through these seasons. All right, we're going to take our middle of the show break. And when we come back, Brian Hartman and I are going to have all sorts of things to talk about. You don't want to miss any of this. You're listening to Grow Omaha on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Brian Hartman here substituting for Trenton Maggot, who has the weekend off, brought to you by NAI, NP Dodge, and D&M Roofing. And this is your commercial real estate development spotlight, brought to you by Noddle Companies. Noddle Companies is one of the premier real estate development firms in the country, based right here in Omaha. And today, for the development spotlight, we're going to bring on Sam Noddle. Good morning, Sam. Welcome back.
Hey, good morning. What's poppin'? Thanks for having me back.
Sam, I'll tell you what's poppin'. There is so much development activity in our town that we here at Grow Omaha have a hard time keeping up with all of it lately.
That's awesome. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I promise you this. I've been working a little bit on my radio voice over the last couple weeks, and I'm going to try not to take up all the time this time.
Well, I think you sound pretty good. Hey, one of your developments is Exarban Village, and there's a big event there today, this Vacation in the Village. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes. So Vacation in the Village is going to be between 11 and 6. It's something that the Inner Rail, our food hall, just across from HDR, and Omaha Food Lovers, which is a big Omaha foodie group, have partnered up, and they're going to close down 67th Street, and we'll have dozens of vendors out there, and the food hall will be rocking. And this is a chance for everybody to come and check out some of the new amenities and the new branding that we have in a little area called Zone 6, which is the area really that surrounds the HDR building, both on the north side and on the south side. So I think I mentioned last time I was on, we brought in a really cool volleyball court system. We've added to that. We just put up some lights to extend the hours, and hopefully people will see some really cool bleachers coming soon. And then on the north side, come check out some of the new murals that we've added. We partnered up with Arbor Street Studios and Secret Penguin, and we just put these really cool new murals in that I think they got done about a week ago. And then we're also going to have our official soft opening for Sonny's, which is, a lot of people are referring to it as a bar. I'm referring to it as an experience, but that is an old 1965 Airstream that we've converted into kind of a retail experience out on the north side of the Inner Rail. And then I mentioned to you last time I was on, Kinghorn Gardens came up with a really cool plant store concept called Chlorophyll, which is right across from the Inner Rail, kind of sandwiched between Status, which is a new tenant of ours that sells high-end handbags, and then Power Life Yoga. They're going to be debuting their greenhouse out there by Sonny's as well. So a lot of cool things to come and check out in the village today.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. I'm definitely going to go there this afternoon with the kids and kind of walk around and take it all in. I tell you what, Sam, anything else going on in the Exarban area that we should be aware of?
Well, we got a couple new tenants up our sleeves. We just got a permit, or no, I shouldn't say we. Saffron, our new Indian concept, just received their permits and is going to start building out. They should be open in probably about October, and they're going to be situated next to Herb Saint in the building that has Irvin and Smith, and we're really excited for them. They're actually two of our food hall vendors, our highest performing food hall vendors, partnered up, and they came up with more of like a new age Indian concept. It's about 5,000 square feet. It will have a full service bar component. The bar is going to be branded a little bit differently. It's going to be known as the Bombay Bar. And then we have a brewery coming to the village, the first brewery. It's a native Nebraska brewery, but they do not have a tap room in Omaha yet. So I can't announce where they're going quite yet, but we're really excited about them, and hopefully that will give a little bit of a new twist. And we got a number of other deals that we're working on, more dry retail-oriented tenants, not a lot more food and beverage. The focus is to bring in some more shops and some lifestyle-oriented tenants that are interesting. And I'm trying to get your wife to spend some money here, Jeff. She's
good at spending money at cool shops and places like Exarban Village. I can tell you that. She's good. And you know,
Awesome.
I'm good at spending money at places like Saffron. And that is my biggest weakness. I am a sucker for upscale restaurants with a great cocktail bar. Love Indian food. Can't wait for that place. And then when you talk about, you know, this cryptic possible brewery, native Nebraska, you know, I'm going through my head right now and I'm cataloging every brewery in Nebraska that's not here yet.
Oh
So
yeah,
I've got
they're good. They're good.
I got my ideas, but I won't say anything.
All right. Well, listen, we need some awesome brokers to bring us some really cool dry retail tenants.
Well,
We've got a little bit of space to fill, so
we'll work on
I
that.
hope they hear me.
Okay.
All right, awesome.
They will, because they all listen. All right, Sam, appreciate you bringing us up to date with some of the stuff going on at Ak-Sar-Ben, and our best to you and your colleagues at Noddle Companies, and we appreciate you guys sponsoring the show.
Thanks for having us.
Okay.
Have a great one.
Well, we'll have you guys
All
back
right,
in a few weeks. All righty. Thanks. That's Sam Noddle from Noddle Companies. You can find out more about Noddle Companies at noddlecompanies.com. Hey, we're going to take our last break of the show, and then when we come back, Brian and I are going to go over several things in the lightning round, brought to you by Turner Construction. So you are listening to Grow Omaha. Final segment coming up. We're brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals here. I'm sitting next to Brian Hartman. We work together at NAI NP Dodge. He's substituting today for Trenton Magid, who also works at NAI NP Dodge. And this, my friends, is the lightning round. A lot of you wait till the end of the show because you love the lightning round. We talk about a lot of things really fast, and it's brought to you by Turner Construction. Turner Construction is a big-time Fortune 500 company construction firm that acts like a small firm in a lot of ways, in that they're super client-focused. They're very community-centric. It's unbelievable how much Turner Construction invests in the local communities like Omaha where they do business. They work to do a lot of workforce development to get people ready to go into the construction trades, and just very involved in the community, treat people well, both their clients and their employees. So if you're looking to do a project, even though Turner is famous around here for doing the massive Sarpy County data center project, they do stuff a lot smaller than that. In fact, I always like to remind people that in 2019, they had more than 800 projects that were in the $1 to $5 million range. So they're you don't have to be turned off or intimidated because, they're based in New York or something like that. No, they've got an office here in Omaha, and they do projects that are right for your business and my business and everyone's business. Turner Construction, sponsor of the Lightning Round. All right, Brian, do you like to drink hard cider?
I've had it before, but I'm not an aficionado, or as they say.
Nor am I, but my wife loves it, and I'm more of a beer guy. But my wife loves it. Well, this is a cool thing. There's a place in Lincoln called Saro, S-A-R-O, Saro Cider, and they've signed a lease. John Meyer in our office did the deal. They signed a lease to open its first Omaha cider house, kind of a cider tap room, 2,800 square foot bay next to the Burlington League at 1022 South 10th Street. Opening should take place this fall. So that's kind of cool.
Is that cider? Is that now? Is it on these in this restaurant? Is it alcohol in that cider? Or is it just okay? So it's an alcoholic beverage based on a cider.
Yeah. Yeah, they call it hard cider because it's got alcohol in it, but it's I don't know. For me, I've had it a couple times, and I've always thought it was a little tart for my liking. I like more of a beer flavor. Or if I'm doing cocktails, I like kind of a sweeter flavor in my cocktails. You don't like
to necessarily sneak the alcohol in. You want to know you're drinking it. Not you're drinking fruit juice, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, I want it to hit me between the face. I want it to hit me in the face between the eyes.
You want to know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know what I'm drinking and drinking a lot of it. Yeah. You ever been to Omaha's Mahogany Prime Steakhouse?
I have. They actually comb the crumbs from your plate when you're done.
Yes, they do.
Trenton would have that service more than some of the other folks, but I have been there many times and I love it.
Yeah, Trenton appreciates that little crumb comber because he produces more than his fair share of crumbs. But Mahogany Prime was named Nebraska's best steakhouse by MSN. Now, we have a lot of good prime steakhouses. So I don't want to get into that battle because, frankly, I like them all. And I can't get enough of those prime steakhouses. But anyway, congratulations to them. Deb Ward has been serving as the temporary executive director of the Omaha Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Mayor Gene Stothert made that permanent. Announced this week that Deb has been promoted to that job. She does a heck of a job for the Omaha Convention and Visitors Bureau. So congratulations, Deb. That's a good choice there by the mayor. Now, here is a sign, Brian Hartman, that the real estate business in Omaha is very, very good, because we're going to tell you a little story from Heartwood Preserve. This is the West Boys Town area, that 500-acre Heartwood Preserve. On the south side of Pacific, right where Applied Underwriters is building its new headquarters, there is a subdevelopment there called Heartwood Estates. This is going to be a luxury neighborhood. A lot of lots that are an acre to an acre and a half. I think I read one time, a long time ago, there would be minimum $800,000 houses. Although with the way the market's been lately, I bet the minimum has gone up somewhat. But get a load of this. They have pre-sold every single one of those 48 luxury home lots. They are sold out for these. So if that doesn't tell you that the economy in Omaha, Nebraska is good, I don't know what else does.
Yeah, it's well, the opportunity to own an acre and a half at that location is gonna. I mean, that's what an opportunity. So yeah, there'll be houses, there'll be big houses, and your 800 that you won't see anything at 800.
Yeah, there would be a lot of million plus.
Yeah, it'll be big.
Especially with the cost of building materials and labor these days. Yeah, these are going to be sweet houses.
Yeah, they'll be really nice houses, and those lots weren't cheap either, I'm guessing.
Well, and the Applied Underwriters headquarters that's going to be right there, it's going to look particularly nice because, get a load of this, there will be 0 cars parked in front of it. All 1,100 people that might possibly work there will park underground. And it's my understanding that even visitors would too. So this building is going to be surrounded by a sea of landscaping. So the whole area is, and then they also right there, they built this new St. Wenceslaus Church, which is gorgeous. I mean, it kind of looks like a modern version of an old European cathedral with the way they designed it. I mean, that area is off the charts. And then on top of that, they've been talking with architects, Applied Underwriters, which is the big developer of the whole project, about putting a pedestrian bridge over Pacific to connect the two parts of Heartwood Preserve.
Oh, I did not hear that part.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's that area. Everybody knew that when that got developed, it was going to be fantastic, and it's ended up being that way. And there's going to be some people that are going to really appreciate having those home sites in there. Absolutely.
Hey, a couple little quick construction starts that we can tell you about. We're out of time. I'll just tell you real fast that August 2nd, construction starts on turning the old Chicago to an Olive Garden in Shadow Lake Town Center, and the rest we'll save for next week. All right, Brian, thanks for substituting this week.
Oh, you bet. I appreciate it, and thanks a lot for the opportunity.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.